Hey horse lovers. Today Kaya and I wanted to show you a little bit about some of the things that she's been learning. For those of you who haven't met her yet, this is Kaya. She is a yearling, a longish yearling, American quarter horse, performance bred, reining and cutting bred quarter horse. She's somewhat new to me. She's only been here at the Double S for probably 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. I don't keep super good track of stuff like that. And one of the things that I want to make sure that I keep in balance when it comes to developing my partnership with her is that I first want to be her friend, and you can see that we've become friends, right? She's comfortable in my presence. I can halter her, I can handle her feet, I can do things that require her to trust me. But I also need to start establishing with her a language, right? A way for us to communicate with each other. And the way that I personally prefer to teach a language to her is by teaching her first how to turn pressure into information. And then after pressure starts to make sense to her, then we can turn pressure into pleasing, right? We can develop a language that allows us to have a conversation that we both enjoy while it's happening versus wishing for it to be over. The biggest thing I see go a little sideways with young horses is, one, we either get to try and to mess around with lots and lots of circles too soon, and that can be hard on their joints, or the second thing is we only do things that develop our friendship and we don't do things that help me become a guide to her, right? A lot of people, and myself included, can sometimes feel a little squeamish about the word leader. So for her, especially because she's so young, I definitely would like her to think of me as her guide through Humansville, right? That there is a place for her to be in this situation that hopefully honors her agency and dignity, but also allows us to be partners. And some of that is going to have to be about her learning to yield to pressure, right? So because we've been together for 6 weeks or more, not every yield is about teaching her to turn pressure into information. Some of it is about teaching her to be responsive. She can't be responsive unless she first understands pressure, and she's starting to get a really good handle on that. So then I need to make sure then I transition my expectations from just teaching her to process pressure into teaching her to appreciate lightness, okay? So a really common example is just being able to move her body with the halter. So I'm going to ask her for lots of steps backwards. I'm not really too concerned about whether or not she's going straight. I want her to stay light in the halter. So when she is, I just have a joyful feeling. And when she pushes on it, I give her a little tap on the chest there. There you go. Keep going. Until she gets, there we go, back into harmony with the halter. This halter and I are going that way. How about you? Atta girl. Atta girl. Atta girl. And then as soon as I feel like she's made 1% progress with her understanding there, I want to make sure I take a little break and let her think on that for a second, and then we'll do it again. I like to go with the rule of 3. So I'll do it 3 times in a row, and if in those 3 times I feel like we've made progress, I'm going to leave that subject alone for right now. If I do it 3 times in a row and it gets worse, or even if it doesn't make progress, then I might think to myself about whether or not my strategy is appropriate. Okay, so we have a nice little soak there. Nice. Woo-wee. That's a girl. Boop. And I didn't, yeah, good. That's a girl. Boop. There you go. Good girl. Okay, that was definitely much improved over the first attempt. So I'll give it another little soak. And then we'll try again. One of the things I think people forget about is that horses are born full faculty learners. They have the capacity to take on information from birth. That's the burden of being a prey animal. They don't have the luxury of taking 18 years to figure out how to survive and thrive in the world they've been born into. So I think a lot of times we make excuses for them because they're young, when really we could expect a lot more from them. Boop. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Boop. That's okay. There you go. There you go. Good. Good. So I feel good about those 3 attempts, and you can see already that, her attention span is wandering. There are limitations based on, her youth, but one of them isn't whether or not she can learn. She's a very fast learner, like all young horses are. And so in order to help her not feel like I'm drilling her, I'll move on to something else. I hope you found that helpful.